All right.
Hi everyone and welcome back to the Foreground Podcast. My name is Moaga and this is Peter Lee.
Oh, what's happening? What's happening? Bulavanaka.
Bula bula bula. If you notice something different, it's because we are not in studio as always. Again, but shout out to our sponsors Lumbr Café, Spalding Street in Sumner, and also Alani Networks Media. But
Let's go.
I want to have a shout out again today because we want to shout out other people who have been helping us out. Who do we have? Quickly.
JG Creative.
JG Creatives. Check them out on Instagram.
So our girl Jen Gilchrist, let's go. She's bringing the magics. So if you're following us on anything on Insta with Mana Performance or the Foreground Podcast, anything extra, that's her magic. But again, massive shout out for her jumping on, helping us out with Alani Networks.
100%. And if you're wondering, we're going to intro it very shortly, our guest. But if you're wondering why are we under these umbrellas and why are we here in Fiji? Why are we here in Fiji?
So Fiji water, massive shout out. Usually I hold like a Lumbr, like the coaster, but yeah. But now we're in Fiji, so if you don't know, part of the Foreground team, but I am also part of something really special. What started out as a passion project. So I have our directors, which is Conan, Tapo, my lovely, beautiful wife, Emma. She's the maestro. We have Dr. Gabby, again, she's just the guru, the Dr. Gab, so massive shout out. And then myself. So what started as a passion project has turned into something that we get to do annually and actually multiple times a year. So we run health and wellness retreats and we actually bring awesome guests, host guests to get involved. Last year we had Khan Porter, but we're really blessed to have two special guests, actually three. So, we got Benny and Lizzie Garard, and also beautiful baby Lexi.
And we'll get to them very shortly.
Not sure if I was supposed to mention the name, but yeah. But usually, cut. But
it's all good. But at the Foreground Podcast, if you've been tracking with us, thank you again for your follows, your likes, your subscriptions. We are big on the 4 C's. The 4 C's, which are community, connection, corporate, and
culture.
I
was like this. I was like, culture.
Pick a one. And speaking of culture, ready, Pete?
Vanaka.
All right, so you've seen that. If you joined us, you know what that means. That's just for like a exclamation mark, but a bit of cultural awareness as well. So without further ado, I'm going to get you to introduce because when you told me about this guest, I was like, damn, that's mad. So again, let you do the invisible drum roll.
That's my invisible drum roll. But really special. I guess when we finished our retreat last year back in 2024, it was kind of like pretty much an easy one. Someone that I highly respect, especially not just as an athlete, but also as a business owner, especially because we do, cover the corporate space. But I thought, take an opportunity to actually talk about the 4 C's with someone especially special. Benny Garard here, someone that's competed at the highest level of CrossFit. If you're CrossFit, mate, he's one of the OGs from Australian CrossFit.
Let's go.
Out of all the CrossFitters I don't know many, but like for the Australian game, but I know Benny. Garard. Not because of your brother, but because of Benny. I actually first started following when you started, went you, Card, and also with Conan. So Conan actually got me into CrossFit. Yeah. All right, so my man, especially with CrossFit staunch, massive shout out Toast. But man, love, just blessed. Even though it's been a few days now, we were in the sand dunes, but just seeing the dog in him and actually how he operates and actually how friendly he is as well. So kind of switching between those two modes of being humble. No, I wouldn't say he's not humble, but humble. Like that humility piece that we're really big on. But just seeing him kind of connect with our guests just proves to me, I was like, man, we got the right guy. We had the right guy come in and, real special. So
yeah, 100%. And again, if you are following us and you're listening to us right now, go on Instagram. You'll find Benny Garard and his wife Lizzie Garard on Instagram as well. The handles will pop up in the link or the comments
right here.
We don't actually have those guys.
We don't have those guys. We don't know where speakers started. JJ, yeah, maybe. Yeah, I do. Automation. Let's go.
But without further ado, Benny, welcome to the podcast.
Like a level, man.
Bula.
Benny, man, it's so excited to have you here. We are in Fiji, bro. First time here?
First time here, man. I've always wanted to come here too. So I'm it's a bit of a surreal feeling to actually be here.
Yeah.
Especially with you guys.
Yeah, man. What was your first impression? I did see a video on Instagram. What was your first impression?
Dude, got picked up from the airport, and it was just like super raw, untouched land, like authentic. It was so hot. I was like, where's the electrolytes? And then, yeah, man, just cruising through all the villages to get here. Like, that was a pretty cool experience. And then all of a sudden, we're at the Intercontinental's spa golf course, and I was like, wow, that view. Like, once I got into the reception, I was just like, couldn't believe it, man. It felt like a dream because maybe I was a bit of sleep deprived from the plane and up at 1 a.m. But yeah, once I got here, I just felt, yeah, it's like a special energy in this place.
Yeah. Are there many moments in your life that you remember that like makes you in awe? Like,
Yeah.
damn, like that. I'm thinking of that video and I'm thinking what you said. You're like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Are there many moments like that for you and like that comes to mind?
I think like I'm really drawn to like nature. So when I went to Queenstown in New Zealand, I had that same feeling, being on the lake and looking up into the mountains. And then I had a similar feeling in Aitutaki in Cook Islands, out on that island, and that was like, whoa, like I feel like I was the only one out there. Just so surreal. But I think nature is just so much more powerful than anything man-made can ever try to match, you know?
And it's one of those crazy things, even though you enjoy it yourself, but this trip is made extra special because you got to bring your family. Like, what's that like for you to not only just travel the world, but do it with your family?
It's just like next level, man. Like, to be honest, I wouldn't have been as excited if I was like over here by myself and my family was back home and like Lizzie was holding it down with Lexi and trying to run the businesses. Like, I would almost feel like I'm letting her down a little bit. But now that my wife's with me, my little baby girl's with me, it just feels like connected, and we can really like be genuine and like showcase like who we are as a family, and just connect with all the people that are here, and just try to give as much value to them as we can over this week.
One of the biggest things for us, obviously, we mentioned earlier, was that connection piece of this podcast. Like, how have you found that in the work that you do? I know there'll be a lot of people interested in this podcast because of who you are and what you've done. But what I hear a common theme is for you and some of our hangouts and chats is just that connection piece. Like, what does that mean for you to be connected to people and building that relationship? Like, again, people won't know everything about you, but again, what does that speak into for you?
Yeah, man. So like, I come from a pretty big family, like one of 4 kids. And both my mum and dad are still together. They've been married for over 30-something years. And then...
That's a bar. That's a bar.
There we go.
That's a
Now
bar.
we're talking about the bar. There we go.
That's
There's
a
the
bar.
bar.
That's a
I was
bar.
like,
I'll take it.
Dude,
Yeah,
that's crazy. That's awesome.
So I'm very fortunate to have grown up in that environment. And it's like, they've both been like amazing role models for me growing up. So a lot of my connection and like family values stems from my mum and dad, obviously. And just super grateful for them to sort of set the standard and like give me something to sort of aim for and strive for. And like, we didn't do it easy growing up. Like, it was like making ends meet, sort of like simple living. Both my mum and dad are teachers, primary school teachers. And then my dad transitioned into like working with, what's like the naughty kids school.
Alternative schools.
So he's got a bit of a soft spot to try and help those youth like in the local area. So I've kind of grown up in that environment. So I think as a kid, you observe a lot more than you realize. And then I think it's just instilled in me to want to be able to contribute to other people's lives and pass on some lessons and some learnings. And as I figure it out along the way, you know.
Any of the other siblings educators like your parents? Did anyone choose that path?
My older sister, she went straight into teaching. Similar journey to my dad, actually. Likes working with the youth. She actually works at my dad's school now that he's retired. So kind of keeping the legacy going there. Super patient and way more patient than me, bro. I wasn't quite ready to go down that path, but I kind of try to do it in my own way.
I think, education is such a, because you talk about school and education. School is a place of education. I think that's one thing that I always talk to people about. Education is the way that you want to make it. I think that, like, I guess kind of going back to that connection piece, I see you connect with athletes, with Gen Pop, with anyone that wants to come and get their life better physically, well, not just that, but mindset as well. And I saw that in the sand dunes this morning.
Bro,
Yeah.
I was loving it out there. Hey, those sand dunes, like, I knew it was going to be a special place, but same again, like, it exceeded my expectations. And like, I didn't have big expectations coming here. Like, I didn't know what to expect, but just staying in the moment and just leaning into these opportunities that you guys are creating for us. And just, yeah, just the energy and the nature and just to know what's been happened in those sand dunes before. Like a bit of context around the Fiji rugby team and the Sevens and the Olympians are training there. And it's just, yeah, it just makes it so much more special to be a part of it.
You got this piece where it's like there's the coaching piece of who you are, but then there's just the I'm a participant piece. This morning was a full-on participant piece because I remember looking over you trying to get some tips from this guy with the, you know, with the mechanics and whatnot. Like, what's it
Get
like
some
for
more
you?
stuff.
Yeah, but what's it like for you to actually enjoy and be a part of it as opposed to I want to lead it, I need to be that person?
Yeah, it took me like only recently to kind of transition back into that like beginner, being willing to learn again and seeking like guidance from professionals in their field. So maybe like mid-20s, 30s, I was a little bit too much ego, all about me, very selfish on my athlete journey, like me, what can you give me, like take. But then it's sort of like, yeah, it's a bit empty after a while and it's not as fulfilling to like keep it all to yourself. So yeah, I've just found like contributing to others and it's just unlimited amount. It all goes full circle and it keeps coming back. So, and I love being a beginner, like learning from other people. Yes, yeah, it's just passionate about that.
Oh yeah, it's fun. It is. That's what I say. Bars.
Bars.
Yeah, no, bars. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, bros. But I think we'll go back to the Sanders. There's something special. There was so much history. There's been so much like history in that space that we were like. So it's always. That's why they're infamous. Like the infamous Senatook sand dunes. But also the beauty part of it. Everyone's like, why don't you play music and stuff? It's like, nah, you just get nature. This is where head noise.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that later. But it's just that, as you said, that nature, the enjoyment of that hurt, and wanting to go to that place, those places that no one really wants to go to unless forced, and then you actually kind of learn something about yourself. And I think that's getting back the education, the connection piece around yourself, because even though you're doing it as well as a participant, you're also pushing. And I know you're pushing Jake there, Jake boy, but then you're pushing also Ray and some of the guys, and also the girls. So I guess as much as you're. Yeah. I was like looking at my son. I was like, no, it's tough. My son did it, and he actually showed. I was like, he would actually beat me. But for me, I was like, yeah, this was good. Like especially that last one, that last hill, where that's as I was telling you, like I've seen people do farmer carries and stuff, and
Crazy.
it is crazy, and like they just
Like I was
do it.
literally on my hands and knees getting up that hill. And when you said someone can carry another human up there, that's next level.
And they just do it. They don't even ask. Like it's crazy. Like I was like, you're kidding. Like, well, I remember when I got told, you're kidding yourself. And then he's like, you'll do it. I was like, okay, sir.
Why didn't you get on my back, bro, and put me to the test?
Even if you threw the gauntlet challenge to him and Jake, is like you're gonna carry the boys up, you know, or one of the boys.
Or just split it between
Just
you
split
at
it
least.
between the two of
Yeah.
you.
Full disclosure, not happening next year.
I'm just thinking about that moment because like all of on the way to the sand dunes, and this is probably like that mindset, like the mental skills stuff that we talked about Rusty a while ago. But on the way to the sand dunes, we kept hearing it's going to be hard, it's going to be hard, and I can hear the chat in the back of the bus, and everyone's just sort of like that laugh, like that nervous laugh, like I can't wait till it's over. Like how do you? Well, I don't know. Both of you have been there before, but how do you prepare yourself for something that is unknown? It's not about the pain, but it's like, what kind of pain am I going to experience, and how do you prepare yourself mentally? Well both of you at elite levels.
I guess and we actually get Kona. I actually start saying it on purpose, and this is like from the psyche from the start. Sand dunes are hard. They're tough because I want it to be a challenge and see if you either shy away from the challenge. And even when we got up there, the girls actually were like, "Oh, we're gonna go for the walk," and it was like, my wife said, I was like, "I am 4 months postpartum.
Yes.
I'm doing it. You can do it. Trust me, you'll be fine."
They weren't going to back down from the Queen.
Yeah.
So we're in.
Yeah. So your framework is then call it out, call out the difficulty and just go, it's going to be hardest thing I could ever do, etc.
Yeah, like I think I've had like a few conversations now off camera, like when we're just like mucking around, hanging out, around. It's just a mindset. It's a challenge, and it's something that you do learn. You do inhibit. Everyone's like, "Oh, how did you find that?" I was like, "Oh, bro, through journey, through pain, through suffering, through the obstacles that come my way, the challenges." I think when I remember when that came through, as I said, this is the thing that our master, like our coach said was, this is how you deal with adversity. This is it. And like they come out with a thing like back then we're like, oh yeah, whatever. But now I'm like, no, he's right. I was like, I think if I didn't go through those type of physical kind of pain and suffering, I would be not the professional kind of going into those like, running businesses and that is hard. Like you would know, whilst trying to be a family man first. Because because at the end of the day, you can have everything.
Yeah.
But end of the day, the core value for me is that family. So my challenge now is like, whenever it says, "Oh, that sounds hard, Pete," and I was like, "Nah, I've had hard. This is fun.
Yeah.
The hardest part is all me letting my family down, and that would hurt me. And that's that's something that challenges me.
Yeah.
So, which I won't get emotional, but the family letdown is probably going to hurt me more and get me more emotional than any challenge or physical challenge in the world that I've done.
Because you've set that standard so high for yourself and you know what you can actually do, right?
Yeah.
What was your process this morning going to the sand dunes? Were you thinking about it or were you just
what's
like...
that look like for you? Going into telly.
Leading from that type of conversation, like I feel like being an athlete, you can actually transfer a lot of the skills that you've learned into business or into raising a family. And like off the back of that, it's kind of like you just compartmentalize what's in front of you and just being fully present in the moment. So for me, like I didn't have any anxiety. I wasn't scared of what was ahead of us. I was just in the bus, like talking to Jake and the crew, literally in the moment. And then it was like, oh, sweet, we're here. Look up. All right.
That first hill, eh?
Let's go. But my reaction is just lean in. Like, let's see what you're capable of. Yeah.
I like that. It's like we talk about this a bit with Peter and I and others. It's that fail forward mentality. If I'm going to fail, at least I've given a red hot crack.
Yeah.
I think that's something that not only in business, but also as an athlete.
Yeah.
How do you go about, is that something that you try and, do you coach that? Or is it a balance between, not a balance, do you coach it or do you live it in the hope that someone catches on what you're doing?
Yeah, I was thinking about trying to decode that, and I think I've been fortunate enough to have a younger brother, like a 6-year gap, who's just an absolute prodigy athlete, super talented. But me as the older brother, like there was a stage where like I would never want him to beat me, and I would do anything to beat him. And then if there was a chance that he would beat me, like I wouldn't do it. Like I'd be too scared to lose. And then I had that sort of conditioning around competing as well. Like I'd put so much pressure on myself to win and to not be a loser, but it actually held me back from so many growth opportunities. So kind of reflecting on that, like when I'm working with athletes and people wanting to learn from me, like I push them into the arena and I just encourage them that they're going to learn the most amount of lessons in the arena. And then it's all good. Like you think there's this spotlight on you and everyone's looking at you and watching every move, but like the reality is that everyone's living their own lives and they don't actually know much about like what you're dealing with, and all they want to do is just see the effort. If you give your full effort, you can walk away like proud of yourself, you know?
Bars. I'm going to be doing this all episode.
Also, yeah, I think I've got a lot of respect for Betty. He was so you went touring this year.
Yeah.
And he was the second oldest athlete. And you were there. What was the drive there? And tell us your journey with CrossFit. When did you start and to now? So you can give us the start, the middle part, what you struggled with, and then what you're doing now to try to, because I know we've had some really good conversations about how do you control someone's ego. And I really want to, really dive into that.
How long we got, bro?
Like, I know.
Like,
just 5 minutes. I think
I'll just unpack 5 minutes of a 13-year journey.
Yeah, just give us all like I guess when you started the year and then just the good stuff, man. And I think not so much the meaty, but
yes, I guess like if you take it all the way back, like as a kid, I had all these confidence and ambitions of like, I felt like I was limitless, maybe from just my upbringing and being like sheltered from a small town and everything. There was no social media, so it was just like, I felt like I could do anything. And then I got humbled pretty quick when I was in the Australian Army, and I got taught like discipline and like getting up at a certain time and bed sheet over the left shoulder, like standing at attention at 0600 hours and like all this like,
I remember that doing officer
Bro,
training. I did
yeah.
that for officer training.
And I was
It's crazy,
like,
man.
Wow, I got 2 defense. Oh, damn.
wow. I like, yeah, went from growing up in Mittagong, small sheltered town, to like the military, you know? So yeah, before that, I went to university, felt like inferior, struggling academically, couldn't like hang to the level I wanted to. So then I went, all right, boom, I'm going into the army. I'm going to become a physical training instructor. I'm going to train the SAS. I'm going to move to Perth. And like, that was my mentality. So sort of like, that's what got me in there. Got humbled real quick, learned about like hierarchy and like earning your position and like doing your time. And I was actually colorblind, so I couldn't go into the role that I wanted to. So I was literally like a Bunnings worker in the military. And like that experience like humbled me, bro. And like I struggled like mentally in there. So then after that, like I still tried to become a physical training instructor, but I just couldn't thrive in that environment. So I ended up like transitioning out, and then was lost and didn't know what my next move was, and like I fell short of my goal. And then I saw Rich Froning on YouTube at the CrossFit Games, and I was like, damn, like I want to beat that guy.
Yeah.
And that was like,
Benchmark. Love it.
yeah. So he was like what got me in. And they tried to like show me CrossFit in the army, but I just never really like took hold of it. And then yeah, so 2012, my very first workout was 7-minute AMRAP of max burpees in the open. 2012, 12.1.
Yeah,
And I remember doing it in like a Globo gym in Mittagong, back in my hometown, and then that was kind of like where it all kind of started. Yeah, but I made semi-finals that year straight away. Got to semi-finals, got humbled, couldn't squat snatch, had the worst mobility, just too much bench press, like didn't know anything about weightlifting or gymnastics. Like I literally teach myself everything on YouTube. Watch Rich Froning videos, copy his movement pattern, go in there and try and replicate what he's doing. So I taught myself how to do CrossFit from YouTube, and then didn't have a coach for like first few years, and then got smarter, got a coach, and then progressed like the journey and realized how important it is to get that feedback. Yeah, and then I suppose without getting too detailed, it took me like 3 years to make the CrossFit Games, and I was like driven from pain to like prove to myself that I'm worthy of making the world stage. And that was like what was driving me. Nothing from pleasure, it was just all pain. And I was like, I've kind of decoded that some people are driven by pleasure, some people are driven by pain. So when I'm working with the athletes, I try to figure that out pretty quick because everyone's different. But for me, yeah, that's what kind of got me through those hard sessions and
That's crazy.
finally punched my ticket to the CrossFit Games after getting humbled a lot on the journey there. So yeah, heaps of setbacks, man, in the last like 13 years. Some real big ones and some like roller coaster rides. So yeah, even 2013, I was on track to be one of like top 5 in the country. Like just so uneducated on like sports and like the politics of sports and holding the movement standards to like the highest level if you're at the top and leading by example. I was just like a bit ruthless back then. So yeah, I posted a video online, top scorer in the world, like owned it, thought I was the man. And then like CrossFit headquarters took my score from first place in the world to last, and they took all my reps off me. So that 2013 whole season gone. Didn't get to go through to the next stage. So then it was like more fire, more pain. 2014, come back, pushed myself way too hard, got sick before the semi-finals. was on antibiotics on a drip, antibiotics orally, still rocked up to compete, but came 11th. Missed out. 2015 was when I broke through just. And a similar situation happened on the competition. Like, I came second in a workout, actually raced Khan Porter to the finish line. Hopefully he remembers this. I beat him to the finish line, thought I'd won the event. And then my judge was standing there with her finger up saying, "You've got 1 rep left." And I fully blacked out, didn't even see it, thought I was done, jumped the bar, sprint to the finish line, and she's standing there going like this. And then the head judge goes, "You got to come back and do the last rep." And it took me like another 37 seconds to finish that last rep by the time I ran back. So I got 26 in that workout instead of first. So I put myself in a hole, and then worked my way out of that hole, managed to get into the final heat, going into the last workout in 10th position, and they take the top 5. So I just went Hail Mary, like, I'm just going to send it. Had no pressure. All the other boys like crumbled around me, made so many mistakes. I won the event, 100 points, and then the leaderboard shaked out, and I came 5th. Equal points in 5th, and I punched my ticket to the CrossFit Games.
That is crazy.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, it was like, I still remember it to this day, man. It was probably one of the most elated like feelings of my whole life, other than like watching my little girl get born. But it's up there, yeah.
What I'm picking up something really cool. You said about the transition from pain to pleasure in terms of your competitiveness. Like, was that an intentional switch? And what did you notice when you began to go, you know what, I don't have to operate the pain? And I don't want to unpack all the pain stuff, but it's like, it was a key word that you said, like, I went from pain to pleasure, and all of a sudden there was that spark, that joy. Like, what were some of the learnings from that transition? Did you notice it happening, or it just, someone just said, hey, you are different, and you look different, you sound different, boom.
Yeah, well, I suppose like there was a glimmer of joy after that 2015 season. 2016, I actually retired from CrossFit because I'd achieved my goal, and like all the fire in me just went out. And like, I was laying there in Spain doing the CrossFit Invitational, literally got to compete against Rich Froning. And like all my dreams had just come true. And I was laying there just like depleted, just empty, just looking up and like saying, that's it. Like, I'm done. And like, I couldn't believe it. And I was like, what the hell? Like, went home and I was like, fuck, like, I don't know what to do again. Because like all the pain was gone. So I was like, fuck. And then transitioned all my energy into Ricky after that. Okay. Yeah. So he was on the rise, 2016. He missed out on the CrossFit Games by 1 spot that very first year. And I coached him like as much as I possibly could. Yeah. And then I suppose like to add to the story, like 2015 CrossFit Games, come back, nothing changed in my life. So it was just, everything was the same. So I had no sponsors, had no money coming in. I was still living at my mum and dad's in Mittagong. I was with Lizzie at the time, and I was like, I've got to do something about this, you know? So that's when I pivoted and went into business and like coaching and like running the gym like properly and doing boot camps, and like moved to Wollongong, got an apartment, renting, and just like focused on other areas of my life that just got fully neglected because I had that like tunnel vision, you know?
Yeah. It's a crazy thing with that self-realization of like serving yourself, which it is good. We all need that. We all need to look after ourselves. We're here on this mana retreat because, for one, we're here to sort of top up ourselves. Yeah. But it's another thing about switching over than serving others. Where did you see that modeled?
I think it just happened organically because of my brother, and like I always had this connection with him, and I always wanted to like just help him like thrive into like, I knew that he was something special from like being a young kid. So whether it was like rugby league was his passion for a while there, like touch footy was the early days, but I just knew that he had something special. So I was just like, just as a big brother, like we never had fights. We always just like get on good. And I was like, bro, you're gonna become something big, and I'm gonna help you get there. And then, yeah, that's just kind of how it happened.
That's crazy. Seeing the joy
In someone else's
success.
yeah.
That's kind of something that we're big on as well. Like Pete Works and Javery and the team. We're so big on that. We're so big on that legacy piece. And like you mentioned earlier about the legacy isn't so much about us. It's about our investment in others to see others succeed. Like that's huge. Like I don't know, what has been your experience when you, I don't know, have you had that experience like Benny where it's you go from switching from pain to pleasure? Or maybe it seemed like you were saying it's probably different.
It is a different, like, so I would, rather than pain and pleasure, I think it's more now, like, I would say pain, but happy and content. So I'm content in life, not happy. Because,
Not satisfied.
yeah, I'm very, yeah. So when you're happy, there's always, you're unhappy or happy. But when you're content, man, you just keep going. You're content, like, yep, sweet, let's just go, let's keep learning. So I think that's a real mind shift I've had to take in, like, through my transition from like pro rugby to semi-professional to then being a husband and father was the hardest transition. I think now I really enjoy though. I think what my coaches and my mentors saw in me was seeing me succeed. I'm finding that with like yourself, seeing you succeed is amazing. Seeing Javery succeed and really challenging. And like, I always talk about this like 10-80-10 model or framework that other people use. So it's not mine. It's just something that I picked up around how you actually run organizations and just be content with that. And it's hard to let go. So I always talk about 10-80-10. Yeah. So 10%. So if you cut up the way that your business mind is. So I run four companies, and like right now emails are going off and that, but we've got like I've got business people, I've got layers to it now. So like 10%, you have you're doing your high level task, and then 80% you're delegating all the tasks that are operational, and then the last 10% you're outsourcing. And I was just talking to Jen off camera, and like I think also Lizzie. I said, that's how you do it. And I get to choose whether or not I do the 80. I don't have to, but you can choose or do it. I enjoy it, so I get to choose to work with all the elite athletes. But then I still enjoy going back to grassroots.
Yeah.
Again, we always talk about like the inclusive leadership or that whole servant leadership. The framework that we use, like service to people, is not weakness; it's vulnerability, and vulnerability and weakness is so taken so differently.
Yeah.
I'm going on a bit of a tangent, but I think that we're like again going back to my whole happy and content, they're two separate different words, and they've got two different meanings to myself and maybe to other people, depending on the way your perspectives are. Same as with life, bro. So
yeah, I think you mentioned happy and content. I think I process and going, happy is like an emotional, it's fleeting. You see something cool, you're like, oh, that's awesome, but that it actually goes away, it's temporary. But content, I always bring it back to gratitude.
yeah,
Because gratitude is more sustainable, it's more grounding, it's more of a legacy piece, like being truly grateful for where you are right now. And I was just thinking about you, Benny, like, and it's probably a big, deep philosophical question, but how will you know that you are content in life? Or are you content in life right now?
Yeah, so I feel like when I'm good and when I'm content and fulfilled and like happy, like I can pour it out into other people. But when I'm like not, and I'm like, whether it's like certainty's not there or like that significance or variety in my life's not there, or that love and connection is like not there, relationships aren't solid around me, then I'll like shrink down and not contribute. So I've still obviously got a lot of work to do there, because like it would be nice to be able to contribute no matter how I feel and like what's going on in my life. So, but yeah, when I'm on my A game, like everyone else gets my A game, but I've just got to make sure I keep learning to how to give that when I'm not feeling so good.
Yeah, I love that part because like that learning piece, yeah, this guy's fast.
yeah,
Part of that learning, and I'm going to segue this into Lizzie as well, because that curiosity has come about. I'm just cracking up because even though you didn't pursue or go down the line of education like mum and dad and your sister, like you're still an educator. Like in many ways, like you are an educator. Like, do you see yourself as that? Because I was going to ask, where does that curiosity come from from going, hey, here's a problem or here's a challenge as an athlete. How do I figure this out? Like, are you aware that that's just a natural thing for you? Like curiosity and wanting to learn more.
Yeah. I think like coach and then teacher is very similar. So they kind of cross over a lot. And then growing up, I always wanted to be like the team captain or the team captain of the high school and team captain of my like sports house at the time. And I always like leading from the front. So that's always kind of been in me as like my nature. So I think just transitioning from like what's in it for Ben into like how can I contribute to the people around me and like help them rise and achieve things that they never thought that was possible for them. And like even in the gym, like I've got this big quote in the gym, like an old Socrates quote.
Yeah. What is it?
And it's like, no person has the right to be an amateur in the matter of physical training. And it's a shame for a person to grow old without seeing the strength and beauty of which their body is capable of. And that's like on the walls, massive big artwork. And then it's just like, we are bent on across it. So it's sort of like, I just like embedding that command into people coming into the gym. Because once you experience like that health and vitality and strength, like you just never go back, you know, because you've felt it before.
Yeah.
But you got to know the contrast to be able to feel that and appreciate that. So yeah, I've experienced both. So now I'm like, I don't want to go back there where I was injured and depressed and felt hopeless and all those feelings. But now I know what it feels like to be on the other side.
One of the things I learned this morning, and it's funny that you say that because Lizzie took us to a workshop this morning and she showed us the 7 principles, and literally is exactly that. And part of your contribution, I think, to society, which I think, to be honest, your legacy piece will be in contributing to others' success. And I think that piece is so important because as a contributor of society in terms of helping people achieve goals, like, what's it been like for you to do it collaboratively with your wife? Like what's it? Yeah, again, because it's a different kind of energy, right? There's you giving one-on-one, for example, I use your brother.
Yeah.
But then there's something you do collaboratively with her, which it casts the net wider and differently as well.
Yeah, like we joke around and we say that like we're gonna get DT tattooed on like our finger. It's just like the dream team, you know, like me and Lizzie. But since the beginning, we've just not only we are in a relationship, but we've worked together from the very beginning. And like she created like a girls only boot camp whilst I was running Benton Gym. And like it evolved into both of us running the male boot camp. She runs the female boot camp. And then like that was at my dad's school with the gymnasium facilities.
Yeah, Dad, let's go. Behavioral kid
No
maestro.
rent. I was like, man, I didn't know how good it was back then. Like we had that place for free, and I was like, we were on a good wicket there. But obviously he retired, things changed, and then me and Lizzie moved all our energy into the gym. But yeah, no, it's pretty special to be able to work alongside Lizzie and let her thrive in her own way, and then sort of let me thrive in my own way, but sort of still meet each other in the middle. But even just that like masculine energy and feminine energy, like that balance, I feel is super important as like a married couple. And if you can get that right, it can like help things thrive in like all areas. But when she's got to like pick up the slack for me and I'm indecisive and doubtful and confused and like she's crossing over into that masculine energy and trying to hold the feminine down, that's when things don't go so good. But yeah.
It's that alignment piece. It's like being able to understand what the other person needs and going, hey, in order for us to thrive together as a couple, you need to be like, yes, on the same page and meet in the middle. But I think your values align very, very well. And hence why the workshop this morning, it was awesome. I was just like writing a ton of notes down. And it wasn't so much about the tips, like the 7 strategies that she had, but I was just like, this is life advice. Like, this is literally life. This is like free therapy for me. It's like, this is amazing. Like, it's kind of funny because it's stuff that I know and I kind of pick up bits and pieces. But when the thing that she really stood on 10 toes down, which is like, we live by this.
Yeah.
Like she goes, if Ben was here, he would tell you, we live by these 7 principles.
100%.
Like, how does that, like, when you hear that, like she's saying, no. If you were to ask him, he would say exactly the same thing. Right?
That's probably one of my biggest traits is like I'll never tell anyone to do something that I'm not willing to do myself. So like I'll always lead by example, and I will never sort of like overstep that mark that I wouldn't even be willing to do for myself. So it's only like if I can see that it's going to bring value to them, like I'll 100% have to be doing it first before I'll guide or recommend that. And then like shout out to Dr. Gabby Najar Maker. So
Dr. Gabs.
she taught me and Lizzie like everything around those 7 principles of health, and like obviously we've outsourced and got some other guidance from different professionals in their field, but we were lucky enough to be around Gabby for so long in an intimate way that we were just immersed in her mindset and her way of living, and it's really, really like changed us as like a family now and how we go about living our lives. Yeah.
That's so gun.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Lovely
Dr.
Gabs.
Gabby.
Let's go, Dr. Gabs.
Yeah. One of the
G.
quotes. One of the quotes that I'm used to saying a lot in the education space, but Lizzie also mentioned it, was like, you are the sort of sum total of the 5 people you spend your time with, and the more you spend time with people, I wouldn't always say like, yes, similar minded, but like you understand your value system, what you have to offer and add to the world. I think that grows you exponentially. Probably one of the final questions I have, and because we're just getting the signal by our producer.
Yes, we got a workshop after this.
We have a workshop after this.
With Dr. G.
With Dr. G. But one of
online.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
But
So
for me,
I'm gonna set it up.
this is a legacy question,
Yeah.
and one that I've asked in the past to our guests, and it's basically this: like, you have one opportunity, you have a microphone in front of you, it's in a packed. Think about this. It's a packed.
Fiji water.
Yeah, sweet. There we go. There's the transition.
Okay, imagine.
Shout out 98 Gold Coast.
So
yes,
imagine like you're at the podium, whatever, and you've just won. I don't know. You don't even have to win a competition. Just say you're picturing touring.
Cool.
They come to you with the microphone, and if you had 2 minutes or 1 minute to share something of who you are and why you do what you do, and that this is the piece that people will forever remember you by. Just have a thing like, what would you actually say?
Stage fright. It's just silence for 2 minutes.
Oh
Overwhelmed.
crap! I can't believe I did it. Well, I do believe it.
What would that speech, that statement, Benny Garard statement look like?
Yeah, it would be like around the concept of like you are way, way more capable of than your limiting beliefs convince you that you are. And a lot of it is the beliefs in your mindset that need to be broken and shaped and reformed. And then if your mind and your heart and your gut and your soul is in, your body will just like follow whatever goal or aspirations you have. But the battle is with the mind and the soul. And I feel like if you can sort that out and do the learnings on that and seek guidance to decode your personality and what makes you thrive in life, I feel like that's like something that should be taught in schools growing up. And then you have those tools in you and you can find that path in life that is going to reach your full potential. So it's all about potential for me and maxing it out. Yeah.
Yo, bars. I know what I would say. Give the mic to Benny. You got attention, but
2 minutes, bro.
Yeah, 2 minutes, bro. Yo, bro, how good we got this.
And I don't like getting time capped, so
Yeah.
We're gonna take that part
but-
of that segment. We're gonna put it onto some motivational speech one day.
Yeah.
That will be epic. Someone's gonna use it in a reel.
Well, it's gonna be it's actually gonna be the
my one.
speech that when you put on that Australian jersey.
I've made an audacious goal to play for Oz for men's 40s Australia.
Let's go.
Yeah, so for
already
me,
happened,
yeah. So it's gonna happen. It's already there. This morning was a tester. So good. So
Oh,
done.
yeah. yeah, that's us. Appreciate your time, bro.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff with like I don't even think it out. We're definitely gonna have you back on.
Oh, 100%.
100%. You, Lizzie, or
Maybe we take the podcast down to Wollongong.
what about yeah?
Come
sick.
see us.
So hey,
Yeah, Wollongong.
obviously Betty didn't mention it, but hey, he's obviously got Ben time, but they've just opened up. If you want to head,
There
Cold
is.
Coast,
Oh yeah,
so
there. 98.
Cold Coast,
Yeah.
Gym 98.
It's the next big thing.
Yeah.
It's coming. 98 games. It's already established. 98 Cold Coast. Finally got a gym down in Wollongong after living there for 10 years. So
Boom, boom. No, again,
pumped.
massive
Appreciate it.
congratulations, bro.
Thanks,
Wish you
fella.
but nothing but love and the best,
Yeah.
man. And Banako level. Yeah, a little bit of Bam, a little bit of Fiji in there, but no, massive, man. I got so much respect for you, bro. And
Yes,
I'm
fella.
like, obviously off camera we'll talk more, and I'm just
Yeah.
excited just to learn more and just chew the fat, we call it.
Fuck yeah.
So just chew the
Cheers,
fat,
fella.
bro. It's
Thank you.
my man,
Thank you,
my
thank
man,
you,
brother.
thank you.
But no, I'm not gonna. Ready? So ready? 3, 2, 1. What? Yeah,
No, do it again. That was
Ready,
scary.
ready,
I missed it.
3, 2, 1, yo. Yo, not gonna.
Out.
Alright, let's-